Secrecy News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. Secrecy News, first with breaking news.
Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. And my guest today is Mr. Dennis Amakere, MON. He's a retired, he's a security consultant and a retired director of SSS. I'm not making the mistake of saying DSS or SSS. SSS, State Security Service.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
I knew it was something like that. Good morning, Dennis. Great to have you.
Good morning.
You know, first of all, taking from Zamfara and the shock, the rude shock that we got over the weekend when they went in there, even though it's Katsina is the president's home state, he was there. We moaned about that extensively yesterday on this program. Say, how, they're not a fear, infra dig. Mr. President is somewhere, they actually pulled this off. Now, a lot of feedback that came from home was that, you know what, it's intelligence failure. Because if the intelligence had been what it could be, then those who need to know, which is a terminology I understand security circles use a lot, those who need to know would have known and would have been able to prevent this. First of all, because you're of that community, at least in all of your working life you were, what do you make of such postulations that our security, our intelligence is letting down our security efforts?
I will not agree with you because intelligence is a complicated issue. And I think the agencies that have been formed to take care of it, many of them, of which maybe the DSS is in the forefront.
Okay.
But you have Army intelligence, you have Navy intelligence, Air Force intelligence, then you have National Intelligence Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency. You know, all these are in the community. The community is a large community. Mm-hmm. And of course, what they do is produce intelligence. You know, and even when I was there, what we do is produce intelligence. And these intelligence have customers. And these customers are fed. Now, when the customers are fed this intelligence, it depends on what they want to do with
When
intelligence.
you say customers, do you mean principals? I mean, like in government? Would your customer be government?
You know, when I say customers, our major customers for consuming intelligence. President, governors, some ministers, the military itself, police, all of them, Navy, customs and immigration. They all get this intelligence with which they are now supposed to go ahead and execute it and do what they are supposed to do with that intelligence. Now you find out that when they get this, sometimes they also get others. Now, when they look at it, or like if we send intelligence to the president, for instance, he takes it, and of course he gets some other intelligence from different people, including his wife.
Well, would you consider that intelligence?
Of course. Well, there are certain things because he can sound that off. Okay. You know, like, you're my friend, Dennis, what do you think of this? You know, so when things like that happen, you find out that you are also getting more information. And when you get this more information, it behoves on you now to decide how to use that original intelligence that came to you. You know, there are situations where we have presidents ignoring the intelligence that will come to them. I'll give you an example, like Trump.
Okay.
Trump does not believe in his intelligence agencies.
Well,
the FBI, yes.
He's always having a problem with
exactly.
FBI.
He even prefers a foreign intelligence to his own. You know.
Well, the intelligence, as I remember this little matter, I think the intelligence committee in the U.S. is saying that they have sworn their allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, and not to the person Donald Trump.
Yeah, very good. So that's what I am trying to pull to now, whereby these intelligence are sometimes given to the president in power, with which he now executes his own policies or whatever he wants to do.
He will use it as he will, being the commander-in-chief.
Yes. And then, of course, if the intelligence agencies are allegiant, because of how they were created, allegiant to the Constitution of Nigeria, then they will be pursuing only the national interest. Right now, I'll tell you something, Yori. Our own intelligence is kind of diluted because a lot of prognosing from politicians into the intelligence system, has happened.
That is possible.
It is happening. It is happening.
Whereby
you have a lot of political things.
Does that influence the quality of intelligence?
It could influence the quality of intelligence because it could be a directive. It could be in the form of a directive whereby they will say, okay, find out this, investigate this, and then when that happens, it becomes skewed. It becomes partial. But if the intelligence agencies or even the police were created to only pursue the national interest, then they will be undiluted and they will carry out their duties as per the Constitution.
So it's not as simple as most people would like to think.
Many people just look at it and they say, oh, intelligence failure, or these agencies are not doing this or that, but it is more complicated
They're
than
not
what you
aware of
think.
the complexities.
Yes.
Okay, we have in Abuja, in our studio in Abuja, Mr. Salihu Lukman, who is Director General of a forum called Progressive Governors Forum. Good morning, Mr. Lukman.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining our program this morning. Well, first of all, you heard me introduce you as Director General Progressive Governors Forum. What exactly does Progressive Governors mean in this case? All of them members of a particular party or what?
Yes, the Progressive Governors Forum is comprises governors elected on the platform of the APC.
Okay.
I am not here in my capacity as Director General of the Progressive Governors Forum. I'm here in my capacity as a Nigerian, and of course a member of APC.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that clarification, Mr. Lukman. Now, as you've probably been with us from the beginning of the program, and you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the unfortunate incident in Katsina, the president's home state. The president was there, and still, we managed to lose 333 students, young boys, to a Boko Haram operation. One of the areas we're looking at is people don't understand why intelligence did not prevent such an event. And I have put that question to someone from the intelligence community, and you heard his response. What is your attitude? And you've explained that you're not speaking for the governors, but you are here in your capacity as a Nigerian. Okay, still, you are involved. You are involved with a certain set of people. So what is your understanding and your comment as to the event that happened, the security lapse, I'd like to put it, that happened?
Yeah.
Please go on, sir.
Somehow I'm not here. Morning, now I can hear you. If I can pick up now, first I will say that what has happened is quite embarrassing and quite shameful. And can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I think it is very unfortunate, and as a nation we need to really take every steps to ensure that not only that these children that are now in the hands of these criminals return safely, we must take steps to ensure that such occurrences never happen again. I am worried at the level of public discourse. We tend to talk about technicalities of security, and I'm not sure we are competent. First, I am not a security expert, and I don't claim much knowledge about issues of security. But a situation where more than 500 children will be kidnapped, taken into custody for quite a long period of time without much strong information about their whereabouts. Of course, we now know that about more than 300 of them are still held captive. Others have escaped. I think it's worrisome. And it's a situation where we need to really, really go beyond some of the demands that are being made. So far, the demands being made, there is a lot of talk about security architecture. There is a lot of talk about changing service chiefs. I'm worried. First, I don't know what security architecture is all about. But I'm worried. In Kankara, where these incidents happened, there are security posts, there are leadership, there are traditional community leaders. How can more than 500 children be taken away, and then security that are there, traditional rulers, community leaders, will not be held responsible for that? I think we need to begin to raise issues around that. Maybe the absence of sanction. I have a feeling that some drastic measures need to start taking place. If we are able to, for instance, arrest all the security that are supposed to protect that community, and hold them responsible for this unless they are able to produce those who perpetrate the act, maybe we'll begin to make a headway. And anywhere where kidnap happen, the first suspect should be the security operatives in the area. We hear a lot of stories about how there is collaboration between these criminal elements and security agents. But it's reduced to just public discourse. I think we need to take it to beyond the question of discussion, beyond the question of debate, to some level of practicality. And this is where, for me, we have to appeal to our government, our leaders, to really begin to really act in this direction. Otherwise, none of us is safe.
Okay.
And I think that is the fundamental issue now. We need to start talking outside the conventional approaches of discussing security. I hear all the technicalities about intelligence, how politicians pollute it. I mean, I'm not sure what that will produce, how that will protect my life.
Okay.
I think as a nation,
okay, Salihu Lukman,
we need to begin
one moment, please. Let me bring some of the points that you make. Oh dear, I can see you can't hear me.
Of forcing our security agencies accountable.
Okay, Salihu, I'll be back to you. Let me bring some of the things that you talked about. Salihu, if you can hear me, let me bring some of the things that you've spoken about to Mr. Dennis Amakre here. First of all, I wanted to ask, in the light of what he said, what the extent is of the coordination that is going on between all of the security agencies, and maybe you weren't even exhaustive, that you told us to give the impression that, to sort of, lay on ground that it's a whole community of professionals working together. Are we getting clarity out of this? Because if there's nobody to synthesize, sift, organize, and then deploy, there's just be a cacophony of information.
Yes. You see, many people, of course, the generality of Nigerians believe that security is, to be executed by the security agencies.
Okay.
Like the man in Abuja said,
yes,
he does not feel safe.
Salihu Lukman.
Yes, he does not feel safe as a Nigerian because of what the security people are doing.
Or not doing.
Or not doing. But he should realize again that all of us make up the security community of this country. You know,
Yeah,
it is not left for the security agencies alone. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that, you see, the security agencies, like for instance, let me talk of my own community where we produce intelligence.
Okay.
And intelligence is given. And how do you really get this intelligence? You get it from the people. You know, the people themselves.
Yes, yes.
Intelligence is not a magical thing that you just conjure out of your head. You know, these people will give you this intelligence.
That's a major source of
course,
intelligence.
Yes, major source, human intelligence.
Although when I factor in films that I've watched, you know, people can also steal intelligence.
No, that's technology. You can steal technology. You know,
okay.
You can steal technology to give you intelligence.
Because if you look at all those films, James Bond will be sent on a mission.
Yes.
He's going to be doing all sorts of illegal
He's going
things.
to steal some technology or something.
And his government, of course, will deny that they ever know him.
Yes, of course. And it works on intelligence. And this intelligence is got from human beings or open sources, like newspapers here. Or technologically, you know, where you get them together. But you find out that all these things synergize when the people are also producing that intelligence information and giving it to the intelligence agencies. Because it is this conglomeration of information that comes that the intelligence agencies will process. Intelligence is processed information.
Okay.
Intelligence is processed information. And that information comes from the people. But you see, we found our situation where Nigerians are just looking at the intelligence people and saying, okay, magically bring it out, okay, and then use it. But you are not ready to give your own side of that intelligence, which of that information that will help. Okay, so we have a problem there. If we don't work in synergy, you know, even during war, during the Nigeria-Biafra war, you know, there was what they call win the war. Win the war. Win the war was a propaganda to use everybody should be involved. Win the war. Let's win the war. Okay, and everybody got involved. Anything you see, you hear, you tell the security agencies or the military.
Okay, that's what you mean by the kind of intelligence where
of course,
you can be a good citizen. See something, say something.
Say something, see something, and say something. It's not a matter of sitting down there and waiting for them. Now, there is a place I really want to land on this.
Okay.
When this first the Chibok girls happened, 2014, there was the Safe School Initiative that was formed. It started with, you know, about $10 million pause to start off. Now, what is this supposed to do? It was supposed to create community security groups. That is, people from the community, you know, creating security groups to secure every school, especially in the north. Every school. Go down to the north now, no school
is protected.
Is protected. They are just sitting down there. Like I mentioned to you earlier, from Katsina to Kankara, it takes about 4 hours by road. How do you now, and it's in an isolated place, you know, if there's a local government there, how many policemen are in the local government?
Okay.
How can they stand these bandits? You know, so how do you call for backup? You know, so these are the situations that we find ourselves.
No, you paint a very sorry picture.
Yes, it's very sorry, and that's why we are propagating for a restructure of the security system. Because if you don't restructure it the way it is now, we can't handle it. Because the police is not enough, the army themselves are not enough.
Okay, you know, I understand it when you said intelligence also involves the citizenry. If you're going to be a good citizen, there are ways in which that can feed into what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But you think about intelligence, and one word we haven't mentioned here this morning is secrecy. Usually secrecy goes with it. I mean, it's all right when you say be a good citizen, but that is intelligence that you are asking for. When intelligence is not, it is not preferred for it to be known, people don't cooperate, and that's when I imagine security people, intelligence people go into the professional mode, because there must be ways to get information, even when it is not willingly offered, if it is crucial.
Very correct.
So
you're very correct.
It's on that area that people, at least on the program yesterday, some of them seem to be indicating that the big problem is intelligence. It's in that context.
Yes.
In that context. What somebody will come and tell you is one thing. But not everybody might know that there's this great big politician, for example, who is actually the sponsor of a bunch of criminals. Not everybody will know that. And so they can't offer such information. So that secrecy, clandestine, as professional aspect of the job is what people mean, I imagine, when they say we're being let down by our security folks, our intelligence folks.
You know, there is what we call actionable intelligence.
Okay.
Actionable. That means it is to preempt what will happen.
Yes, yes. So why was there no such security where Buhari was going to be spending a few days?
Buhari was not going to Kankara. Buhari was going to Katsina. In fact, he was going to Duse, Daura. And now Daura and Kankara are too far away distances.
I see.
You know, now when we have all the security, there must be an advance party. You know, because if the president is moving, even a week before he moves, there will be an advance party that will go into that town and remain in that town, get all the intelligence, and before he moves, the chief detail in Abuja will ask the advance party leader, is everything clear? And he said, yes, we are clear, you can come. Then they can move, okay? This is how it works.
Yeah. So
now that particular situation must have happened, but if there are bandits somewhere hanging around far away, we even know that there are a lot of bandits in Katsina.
Okay.
An emir has been kidnapped before. You know, this is not the first time, and we know the whole of North. It's like me telling you that there's Boko Haram in the North. You know, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. You know, but for it to be actionable, where we say, okay, there is going to be a bandit attack on Kankara.
Okay.
You know, that kind of intelligence is necessary. And I don't know whether the security agents have it. I'm not in the system right now. But an intelligence like that should come out. Of course, most schools are targets now. And, of course, somebody should have been looking at that particular desk to say, look, we might be slacking. Right now, remember, most schools in the north, Zamfara and Jigawa are all closed.
Yeah, and they have closed 10 schools among them.
Because there will be imminent attacks. There will be imminent attacks.
So, and even as we know this now, so much so that they are taking protective action, if not preemptive action.
What is the protective action?
Well,
you close the school, you send the children back to school.
Hiding the children away.
Yeah, hold on. You close the school, you send the children back home, right?
Yes, yes.
And then Boko Haram is saying that Western education is not good. Western education is haram. You've already closed the school and sent the children away. That means Boko Haram has won. Boko Haram has won because they have stopped your children from going to school. So what do? You have to open those schools to counter what they are saying, that Western education is not good, you know.
And protect them while you're at it.
Exactly. Protect them while you're at it, and also debunk what they are saying. I've not seen that. You know, I've not seen where they are debunking it. Because, you know, the military is not just going shooting guns and everything. The military has a psychological operations department where they also re-radicalize, you know, de-radicalize people, de-radicalize, where people are now saying, oh, our mentality is Western education is not good. Now we have to tell them that Western education is good. Shekau himself is using WhatsApp, is using videos, is using all kinds of things which are Western. He's using guns that are produced by Western education. So why can't we go ahead and, you know, pound this into these people's head that, look, this guy is just deceiving everybody. You know,
Okay.
that's a different sector of the war.
And
you know,
it is, and in fact, it's a different sector of the conversation that we're having now, by which I mean, take the idea that the Nigerian military is no pushover, any way you look at it. We might not be cutting edge where we need to be, but it's no pushover. Our people, our boys in uniform, they go abroad, they get this commendation. If that is the case, why has it taken the Nigerian military all this time and still they have not come to grips with Boko Haram in a way that we would like it to be? Now they don't say it anymore. The Minister of Information used to say at one time that this is just the dying throes of Boko Haram. Boko Haram is on the back foot. You know, they're technically debilitated. Now they don't say those things anymore. So and why I established the premise first that Nigerian military is no pushover, I am wondering, if you order them, I don't want to hear anything Boko Haram anymore. If the person who can give that if a person who is competent to give that order were to give it, Dennis, are you saying the Nigerian army wouldn't achieve the objective of wiping out Boko Haram?
The Nigerian army is one of the best in Africa. One of the best. I think we are the third or so. You know, I cannot tell you, but we are among the first 5 professional military in Africa. Okay, and there is no way we can be pushed over. Now, the problem we have right now is that...
Okay, well, I beg your pardon for interrupting you. I have to go on a break,
okay.
You know, very urgently.
All right.
So stay with us, we'll be right back.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we'll get up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.